Previously on High Stakes Poker. Vanessa and Doyle got their stacks in and chopped it up.
I have to call. I call.
I guess I walked in at a good time.
You did. There's kind of a small pot going on.
Nice handle.
Robert Croak went broke.
I'm all in.
Call.
Once or twice?
Once. I got a straight.
All right, gentlemen. Bye, guys.
And Andrew Roble took the hot seat.
I'm coming for that WPT money, kid. It's a pretty big poker game.
Just cost yourself $40,000.
Just hoping you were bluffing.
I'm all in. Yeah, all my ladies is jacked. Got my bullets and diamonds and I ain't holding back. I'm all in. Yeah, I'm gonna kick it. Pocket rockets and take it. If you got what it takes, you can play high stakes. I'm all in. I mean, these ladies ain't ladies unless they're your ladies. Put your hand on the roster, that's what it takes. And if you got what it takes, then you can play high stakes.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of High Stakes Poker, presented by PokerStars.net. I'm Norm MacDonald. Last time, we saw a new player come into the game, young pro Andrew Roble. His online nickname is Good to See You. I bet he was thinking it was good to see Phil Ruffin and Bill Klein sitting right next to him. The two amateurs have over $1.2 million in front of them. Tonight, let's see if he can get his hands on some of that money, or if he just adds to their fortunes. And we are in our beautiful suite, and over $3 million is on the table. There is Andrew Roble. Antonio raises with my favorite hand. Queen Jack suited.
Call. Let's get him.
And Ruffin calls with my favorite hand. 8-6 suited. You guys might notice I have a lot of favorite hands. Or wait a second, this is my actual favorite hand, Pocket Kings.
Re-raise 15,000 total. How much did you play, Melissa?
Started with about 200.
200. Thank you.
If Antonio thought Ruffin was calling, he would call.
You got him, all right. That's good news when I go like this.
And no one will challenge Ms. Selpst.
I set you up perfectly, Vanessa. You know, I talk about how you always bluff, then you pick up a big hand and get no action.
Sick.
You might as well just have been bluffing.
Might as well have been. I know, I should have been.
So who's better, Vanessa or Annette? Robles.
So they're at what?
I assume we're talking about Russo, right?
Tournaments. No, you or Annette. In tournaments. Just want to stir it up a little, you know?
I know you did.
Barry, who's better?
They're both good.
See, Barry thinks
That's
a little
the TV
quicker
diplomatic
on his
TV
feet than I do. He has the experience
People
from all
always
those
worry
player
about-
rankings on his website.
People always worry about better, you know, like that's an absolute, like it's
Biffer got his ace-10 back.
better and best, and like everyone's always the same.
Like I like on your website, Barry, it doesn't say anyone's a bad player. They're all good.
Well, no, but everyone I didn't name is bad. No, I'm kidding.
I knew there was a reason you left me off the list.
Well, 2 blinds in Viffer. Both blinds have decent hands.
Your favorite move, you know. Why does there have to be a ranking?
Ruffin and his kings.
Me.
Especially for poker where there's so many variations.
Wow, 20,000 into a $3,200 pot. That's like bringing a gun to a pillow fight.
That's it.
That seems to be the bet. So
Yeah, I thought I was going to win most pots, but I'm pretty sure that
Phil.
he probably wins the majority. Not just like the most of anyone, but probably like more than 50% of the pots.
I make a pair, I'm think to get broke.
I would say.
So Ruffin is thinking, this is an easy game.
30.
Just have a king in your hand and these fellas will pay you money. Everyone's pretty quiet. That usually means the game's going to tighten up. Guess not with this lineup.
Well, you got at least put 8 in.
Come on.
What do you think it was? I thought it was 20.
Play a little cheaper now.
I thought it was 20. You have the most lifetime tournament winnings for a female, Vanessa?
What did you say?
You have the most lifetime tournament winnings?
Kathy Lieber and Rennie Duke.
Viffer and two businessmen to the flop. Story that we see over and over.
Female.
Oh, tournament wins or winnings?
What?
You mean
No one makes a pair.
They both have Melinda.
No, but Annie, that's included.
twice as old
I
as
know,
you are?
but I didn't want to say
The
it.
six pairs Klein and Pete and gives Ruffin a flush draw.
How many people were in that tournament?
There's the flush.
that is 1,000. You bet 1,000. 20.
Right.
20,000 total.
I love Phil.
And there's the bet.
You gotta love this man.
20's the bet.
How do you not? You just feel the love, man.
I feel the love.
Feel the love.
Soon I'll be having steak feeling the love, you know? I don't have much.
The last $20,000 river bet by Ruffin was a bluff,
Just reverse what it
but
is
not
now.
this time. He's got the goods.
But this guy I was playing was a real bad player.
And he gave the speech before he bet the
The Johnnies
20.
were so big and everything, and he raised me 80,000. I'll never forget it. And I moved it on. He threw his hand away and turned up to a 7 deuce. I looked at it, you know, and he smiled at me. We took a break.
Loose call by Viffer.
Forced the chip.
I want to remind you that all these calls and bluffs between these two players
Set it up. You bet 20,000 every time.
can all be directly traced back to that failed $100,000 bluff by Viffer. Welcome back. We're playing high stakes poker. Let's take a look at our stack sizes. Antonio and Ruffin up over $400,000 each.
We just said we'll just chop this thing up and then we'll just go on out. So everybody was moving in every hand. I think Freddie D might have been the winner.
Yeah, you want it one here.
I think that was the year.
Vanessa doesn't want to play a king 10. Roble trying to get a feel from the players to his left before committing any chips with king 6 of hearts.
Impossible to steal it.
Phil's going for it.
Klein will try to pick up the blinds and antes right here.
Feel good now.
Of course, both blinds call him. Ace high flush draw for Brunson. Top pair for Bill Klein.
8,000.
Pete says lullaby baby to his baby deuces. Doyle hopes he can raise and win the pot without making his ace high flush.
20 is the magical number.
No, he's going to have to make it.
Sorry.
No club? Doyle is going to back his story with a bet of 60,000.
Don't need to count it. Good hand.
Nice hand, Doyle. 10 Dewey. 10 Dewey.
60,000.
All the poker's done.
If you was after a club, you was in bad shape.
One more key.
What if he had the top pair, Doyle? Was he still in bad shape?
I wouldn't mind going.
Well, it took a while. But I think our pros have finally got a line on the amateurs. They've made some timely bluffs and some good calls.
Who is?
Except Viffer, of course, and his silly thoughts against Ruffin. Barry Greenstein decides to commit 3,000 of his 27 with ace-5
They're
suited
not letting you buy the condo? That's
They're not in condos.
and runs into ace-king suited. But Ruffin just calls.
I think they're still let you buy your condo.
Barry will need help on the flop.
Yeah, but in the meantime, it's a hotel now. I mean, even if they had your condo back.
And now he's going to need a miracle.
really?
He's got 3 of them there.
An actual miracle.
They settled for about 60%.
What's the bet?
Of course, he bet 5,000. And Ruffin just calls.
I'm moving in Mandarin in like 2 weeks.
Really?
Whoa! And Barry is like, yes, my luck is finally changing.
Sick.
Let me see that.
How many do you have there, Barry?
13,900.
Do you have any more?
No, I want one.
That sound good.
Do you have any more?
That's not bad. Is that it?
Like north.
I got it straight.
The view is unbelievable.
Flush ace high.
That's all you have? That's going to win.
You had some nice hands.
Yeah, that's a good seat.
How'd you like the flop, though?
I like the flop.
You like the flop? It was okay?
Yeah.
Would have went busto.
Yeah.
What do you want?
100.
So Barry's tapped out. And so he buys another 200. Welcome back to High Stakes Poker.
They did one where it's in the table. And
The Phil Ruffin Show continues.
better close.
Pocket nines,
Oh.
limps. Pete can't wait to call him with any 2 cards. So's Doyle, apparently. And Vanessa stirs things up with pocket 8s. What is the magician going to do with Big Slick?
He raised to 20,000.
Raises it to 20,000.
Call.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Damn it.
Ruffin calls out a turn.
That's right.
Action down to Vanessa.
I apologize.
Oh, all good.
And she calls.
It's a
Antonio misses the flop. No ace or king for him. But he decides to represent a big pair with a bet of 45,400. Works with Ruffin instantly. Vanessa might be a little harder to get through.
45,400.
She's looking at Antonio, trying to get a read. Couldn't get one. Antonio's bet into 2 players, very convincing.
Not the 3 of diamonds. Come on, that's such a needle.
Come on, Pete, enough of that.
I thought it was going in. Thought it was going in.
Man, if you'd had the
Thought
10
so,
deuce
too.
that time.
What?
Just man, if you'd had the old 10 deuce that time, right?
I had ace high, but I was calling.
You took fine, Annie. You were calling.
I was?
Mine and Annie. At ace high beat.
Then you had the best hand. I gotta use my knit image, you know?
Okay, Brunson with a real hand.
I have some built-up squeezer leg, right?
I don't know why I didn't shove it. It's bad.
Raised to 3,500.
You shove, I show you 2 aces, and you get very sad. That's why you didn't shove.
No, usually doesn't stop me. I don't know. It's a good bet.
Call.
Ruffin with another pair.
Should have just 4-bet free flop. That would have been easier.
What did you have, 8s?
Dead on.
Something around there.
Something on there.
Me.
Okay. Yeah, it's like the perfect flop for me, but I'm a nit,
You're in it.
apparently.
I'm the net.
Doyle bets 11,000 with his overpair.
How much?
11.
I'll call.
Ruffin decides not to go away this time. Doyle's going to bet. He's just going to decide how much.
If I call you,
That's 25,000. Ruffin can't
I
call.
mean, there's no way I was folding. You know what I
you didn't
mean?
have ace high then. You must have had 10, 3 of diamonds.
I just 4-bet you with 10-3 diamonds.
4-bet.
Come on, Vanessa,
Oh,
look at
yeah,
that
whatever.
face. He's not lying.
3-bet, 4-bet.
Did you show with 3 diamonds?
No.
Welcome back to the Bellagio for more high-stakes poker. And now let's spend 30 seconds with Kara Scott.
Ever think about who would play you in a movie? We asked this season's players which famous actor would play them if a movie was made about their life. Their answers were a little surprising.
I'd say Matt Damon.
It would obviously be Matt Damon.
Boy, that's a tough question.
You know, math genius, obviously.
Pierce Brosnan. Good-looking guy.
Be very good looking, obviously.
It would have to be somebody with, like, multiple personalities.
Well, it's got to be Robert Redford. There's just no doubt about it.
Jim Carrey, maybe, just because he can do so many wide, different ranges.
The guy from Sopranos, he played Stu Unger in a movie.
Michael Imperioli.
Yes.
Maybe, like, Danny DeVito.
You know, successful and all that. So I guess he'd be the natural choice.
Very interesting. Greenstein's gone, so is Michael Imperioli. Matt Damon looks at 5-3 suited. And raises to 3,000. Pierce Brosnan is out. And Robert Redford calls with King 10. And Matt Damon, in a dual role, defends his blind.
No point looking at me. I can't tell you anything. I don't know what I'm doing.
Bill Klein has the open-ended straight draw, and Roble has a flush draw. All 3 players check. And there it is. Flush for Roble. Vanessa jumps off a plane without a parachute. And Roble looks to his left and sees a man that doesn't look like he's going to fold. He raises to 15,000. Now Klein has no reason to not like his draws, but his straight draw is no good. He needs to catch a diamond. He calls.
Bill, he's
That would have been the
man.
hand that I tried to bluff.
If he can't do it, no one can.
To give it up.
I'm going for the nobody can.
Might have been the one.
No diamond for Klein. He could have got in trouble with the straight, though. Good thing he didn't hit that. $40,000 bet. Don't see how he can call.
Now, I'd like to play this hand over, if that's okay. I keep those and try it again.
Can't blame him for thinking
I'd
that.
like to play that one over.
It was a nice looking flop for King 10.
Good answer. Thank you. And I was so close to actually meaning that, too. Really close to meaning that. I wish I could play the hand over it also. Well, then I'm glad I played it that way.
And Matt Damon wins that hand without having to do any acting at all. He had the best hand.
I want a mulligan. You lost some minimum. I probably did. I definitely did.
Call.
Wow, back to the old script. King 7 suited for Ruffin. How's he going to lose this hand?
$51.
5,100.
Me?
Barry's got him dominated and raises.
Call.
Well, we know who's the favorite in this hand, but Barry still has a chance.
I burned up my last 800. I'm giving you a fair warning.
And Ruffin's ability to will the king on the flop may get him in trouble this time. The key word is may. He makes it a standard 20,000. And Barry says, here we go again. And Barry checks. 20 grand. Barry calls. That ought to scare both of them. Maybe not.
Ace to the ace. Call.
King.
Ace king?
Ace king.
Just king. King 7.
What about?
All right.
Nice bet, Barry.
And Kings let down Ruffin.
Good hand, Barry. Good hand. I didn't mean to build it for you. I thought I was building it for me.
Yeah, could have gone either way.
We are back with more high-stakes poker. Well, Viffer and Roble are absent from the table. So, not that these players need any goading, but six-handed should provide some more action. Doyle likes his ace-jack. Barry calls his raise. Antonio really likes his ace-jack. Makes it 15,000. Well, Antonio's re-raise out of position scares both these players away.
Just the way I like it. No fighting. Just,
no fuss, no muss.
No, just, let's finish it right there.
Still six-handed. Ace-queen suited for Vanessa. Raised to 3,000. Antonio won't let go of his button.
Up to me.
So 3 pros go to the flop. Flush draw for Antonio. Barry's still got the best hand, but it's Vanessa who decides to take control and gets through Barry.
3,700.
Antonio calls. Now Vanessa has a flush draw also. And a 4 would give each player a straight. And that would help Antonio. Vanessa checks. Antonio goes for a semi-bluff, but he will certainly get called or raised, depending on what kind of mood Vanessa is in. She's in a calling mood. King of spades gives Vanessa the nuts. And she checks. Perfect check. The only way she could make more money. Antonio is forced into bluffing.
32.
That's 32,400. And soon it will be lights out. This hand is practically over. That's got to be a sick feeling in the pit of the magician's stomach. A check raised to 101,800. He is not throwing his hand away yet. He is thinking the only way I can win this pot is to shove. Will the magician go crazy and make a lot of chips disappear? Nope, comes to his senses.
Sick bluff. You know, I tell him.
I wanted to raise you so bad.
I tell him you are always bluffing, and they still never call you. Sick bluff.
How could you call me with hearts?
Dead on.
How could you call me with 8 high hearts or whatever?
I wasn't going to call you, I was going to raise you.
This game is getting crazier by the minute as these players learn more about each other's styles. We are back playing high-stakes poker. Antonio, still our big winner, David Pete has been going through some swings, but he is still up almost $250,000. Ace Queen of Hearts for Esfandieri. He raises 2,500. And Roble deciding what to do with King Queen. Calls. Ruffin tags along. And Viffer, back to his old tricks, raises to 11,000 with 8-6 of diamonds. Antonio just calls. Roble says goodbye. You think Ruffin's interested in this hand?
Oh, man.
Guess not. So 2 to the flop. Diamond draw for David Pete. And he checks. Now David has a straight draw also. Antonio checks his ace-queen.
15,000.
And David is done checking.
Just trade 5 of diamonds. Got to say one more.
And wins the pot.
Can't rabbit
Three
hunt.
5 of diamonds?
That's what I
Grab
had.
it home for him one time.
Go ahead, give it to him. No, go ahead, honey. Go ahead. It's all right.
Doyle wins the side pot.
I finally made a hand. The one I couldn't have got away from.
Well, we have a lot of aggressive players at our table today, but none can come close to the subject of this week's PokerStars.net High Stakes Legends.
Texas-born Jack Strauss was given the nickname Treetop for his 6'6" height. A witty storyteller and aggressive poker player, Strauss was also known for his creative bluffs. But he's most famous for winning the 1982 World Series of Poker after being down to a single chip early in the tournament, giving rise to the phrase, "All you need is a chip and a chair." Strauss suffered a heart attack while playing a high-stakes poker game in Los Angeles in 1988, but at least he died doing what he loved.
That's strange because I came to this table with a chip and they would not give me a chair. I would have had all this money.
Raise to 3,000.
Jack 10 suited looks good to Vanessa. Andrew Roble with his patented left turn yield before he acts. Raises to 11,000. Bill Klein wants to see the flop with his 8s.
You have more than me, right? You have like 300 or something? Like I just can't see any of your chips, that's why.
I have close to 400.
You can gamble with him, Vanessa. He's got plenty of chips. Atta girl.
How much do you have about?
Like a little over 200 maybe. About 220 maybe.
Good flop for Klein. And Vanessa's going to like it too with top pair and an open-ended straight draw.
Check.
Klein checks. I don't see Vanessa checking. Atta girl.
Got 18,000.
No way Roble's going to call. Just lay it down. Attaboy. And back to the set of eights. What to do, what to do.
Raise.
Raise it.
Let me make her pay. I'll raise to 58,000.
40,000 more.
Vanessa's a 3-to-1 dog. I don't see her getting away from this hand, though. And calls. Board doesn't change. But the size of Klein's bet does 70,000. Very good size bet by Klein. He's priced her out. And that's what she's thinking about. And she folds.
That's it.
There's always a 9. Huh?
Both players played that hand well.
Getting bluffed every hand.
Klein gets a break. His best hand stood up. I'm sure if they rabbit hunted, the straight would have come. We're back to the Bellagio, and there is Bobby's room, home of the highest cash games in the world. Well, Phil Ruffin and his $836,000 are back at his island. He won over $300,000 from these sharks. That's the most money that an amateur has ever won in the history of high-stakes poker. And in his honor, David Pete raises with King 6 suited. Well, Vanessa picks a wrong time to re-raise. These two are just playing in the middle of the street with no idea that a truck's coming. And there it is. Get out of the way, Pete. Get out of the way.
Every single time I 3-bet late in this game, I've gotten 4-bet and punished.
Well, when you do it every hand, you know, they stop believing you.
That's, I guess, true. Yeah, I should stop doing it every single hand. Something to consider for the future.
The young players play so.
And Pete is thinking, shut up, Andrew. Let her keep raising.
You play slow every hand. Like, I love you, but you were maybe the slowest player I've ever played with.
Who? Andrew?
Overall.
I'm thinking a lot.
I understand. If I had your brain, I'd play slow too.
Doyle brings it in with King Queen.
3,400.
I'm embarrassed I can't figure out that much to think about.
Suited connectors for Vanessa. Vanessa flops top pair.
Check.
Doyle checks. Vanessa bets 6,000.
Raise it.
Doyle says, let me punish this little girl. Vanessa calls. Ace of Spades is a bittersweet card for Vanessa. Gives her a flush draw, but makes Doyle's hand look scarier.
Huh? As I tested that.
And Doyle will represent it. Bets 35,000.
Bet 35,000.
Vanessa probably thinks she's beat, but she's priced in. She's going to call here. What's she doing? She just switched real money with counterfeit money?
I'm all in.
No, she's going all in. Doyle happily folds.
No use stalling with that.
Vanessa Selbst is gaining the respect of the cash game player.